language?
Pay attention in school, kids.
The American education system is not teaching other languages.
I am not the right person to ask this because I took 2 or 3 years of Spanish in high school. I remember very, very little. Um, and I remember enough where I might be able to communicate really terribly with somebody who only speaks Spanish. Like I would have to have them slow way down talking to me because you listen to Spanish TV stations, forget it. I can't follow anything. Like they talk so fast, at least to my ears. I don't know, but I've thought about learning a language because they've made it so much easier now so much more accessible. Let's say that. I don't know how easy it is, but using programs like Rosetta Stone or Duolingo or and they gamify it a little bit, which has a lot of interest for me because I find that if something's gamified, I tend to stay more interested. So, I don't know. I haven't learned a language in a very long time and barely knew it because it was high school, right? So you did the bare minimum just to get through it, unless you were a weird psycho.
No, in high school I did the same, but I remember enough that when I got into EMS, I could. We had these at the time. They're on their digital devices now, but these actual books were in our pockets that you could flip through different things. And there was a whole sheet of
phrase books.
Well, it wasn't just that; it was all paramedic stuff. But there was a phrase book page that was like, "Hey, this is Spanish for pain, cold, hot." The basics that we need to know. And I could actually be fluent is not really the right word, but I could be fluid enough with how I put it together that my patient could understand that I only understood a little bit and communicate back to me the basics of what I needed to understand to help them.
Well, and if you're saying and asking the same things over and over again, you're going to learn those phrases, right?
And
I mean, you just are.
Kind of key is repetition.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah.
You just got to watch Dora the Explorer more, right?
Oh, no, I totally got swipe or no swiping. That did not help me in the back of the ambulance. I looked at the patient, they're like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, swipe or no swiping. Like, what?
All right. So,
that was worth
I can give. It really wasn't. So I can give. I can give a whole lot of hate to like Dora the Explorer and shows like that. But the fact of the matter is, kids are learning some bilingual stuff from shows like that. Yeah. There's Dora and then Run Diego Run or whatever that her
the cousin.
The cousin's name, and then up here I don't know if it was all over the place, but there was a show on PBS called Caillou.
Yeah.
Caillou, and it was French. It was like English and French.
And it's tough being bald when you're a kid.
Yep. Yeah. And up here on PBS when I was a kid, they had 2 Spanish bilingual shows. One was Villa Alegre, which was, I think, I don't know, it's just another one of those kids shows, and Carrascolendas, which again would have like a dude in a giant lion outfit, and they would have a lot of comedy type skits or whatever, but they would make an effort to be bilingual and show you stuff. And frankly, back in the day, even Sesame Street would do that. They would have some cartoon skits and abierto, cerrado, cerrado, open and shut. That whole thing. So there's always been that kind of thing, but I still think language is more accessible now than it's ever been because we've got so many resources with subscriptions.
Yeah, I want to put you into another one for kids. Ni Hao Kai Lan was an Asian one, Chinese, I think, because it says it's based on the memories of the show's creator, Karen Cho. Growing up in a bicultural Chinese-American household. But my kids and us as parents at the same time were learning functional Chinese, and of course that's one of our favorite foods to go to, and especially when my kids are babies, they're always cute, and you know everybody's cute baby, and so when they're toddlers, and we're like say it for them, and they'd say ni hao, it would kill because they're like, oh my god, these little kids speaking our language, and it wasn't like it was better than Dora in my opinion. Is all I'm saying. I really liked how it worked. Anyway, Joe, what's your take on how you learn languages?
Clearly, you just gotta have it on repeat so that you can be stuck saying omelette du fromage all the time.
Is that a reference about?
It's a reference to Dexter's Lab.
Oh yeah.
Well, so okay, I'm going to take exception to that because omelette du fromage was not Dexter's Lab first. It was Steve Martin first. Steve Martin did omelette du fromage.
All that matters in pop culture is where you heard it first.
Right. Fair enough.
My basics are, so I've learned some German. I did Duolingo for a while and wanted to learn German. It helps if you have somebody you can speak it to.
Sure.
Yep. You a little bit, right? That repetition matters. And really understanding the process, because I did Duolingo. I think now they charge, which is understandable, but it was free then. But I would be doing like a lesson in the car, and it wants me to speak to it. And I didn't want to sit, not like driving. My wife was driving or whatever, but I didn't want to sit in front of people and hammer out these words and feel stupid, which was really
feel like a Dummkopf.
Waka waka.
Yeah.
Blockhead or dumbhead.
Scheißen.
You said you were learning German, right?
People, pray for this boy. Pray for him hard. I don't know what to do with him anymore. Kelsey doesn't know what to do with him anymore. We only do this on Thursday night so Kelsey gets a break. That's all I'm saying. But I mean, everything that Kurt said, everything you said. Do you guys remember the commercials from like the 80s, or at least it was in like a TV show or something, where they put like the headphones on and listen to the tape deck or the CD overnight, and it was going, cheese. This is just an example, but like
fromage.
You're supposed to be able to let your subconscious absorb it while you're sleeping. That doesn't work.
Never. I've tried that so many ways. Just to, but no.
I like you said the gamification, because it's not just about gamification. It's about that works for your brain.
Right.
That's the other key. You might be when I cheated my way through Spanish in high school, to be honest, but. Yeah, I know, right? It was my rebellion. It's the whole thing. I think we've told that story. No, we'll tell it later, whatever. But what was working at the time was the repetition for me, just constantly. So I could write in Spanish better than I could speak in Spanish at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's not the case at all. Okay, same thing. Programming is a language, right? You have to practice. You have to work through it. But it hooks you in. If you're a programmer, it just works for your brain. Piano, I can still read music. I can't necessarily sit down at the piano and play the music I can read, but I can read that music and I can tell you because it hooked. And it was just repetition. And because I had the fundamentals of music workbooks for many grades in my life where I'm just writing out what it means, that sticks with me today. Wish it was more practical. I could just sit down at the piano and start playing anything, but I could if I truly wanted to, because you can learn anything you want to if you find the right way that works for you.
Sure.
But the real thing is desire, right, Kurt? I mean, if you wanted a language, you learn a language.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, the creepiest Devo signing ever. Holy crap, man. And that's the never mind, I'm not say that.
Yep. Good idea.
Thanks, Joe. All right, everybody. It's been weird. We love you all. Stay safe. Danke Shane.